What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Trigger TV, another episode of Crime Time with B. What's going on, everybody? I know you see the title, Jamal White, 6 cult members missing with their children. Welcome to the stream, you guys. I want to get in here and discuss this with you guys. This has been an ongoing case for the last 6 months now, but I want to bring to your attention, you guys. So let's go ahead and start off the show real quick and get some of these disclaimers out the way. Thank you so much for joining the clip. Let's go ahead and get you started real quick, you guys. Go ahead and please like, share, and subscribe. If you already haven't, please hit that thumbs up. Please hit your notifications as you come in the building, you guys. Just so you're notified every time that Trigger TV drops a video so that you never ever miss a stream or never ever miss an upload, okay? Make sure you guys do that. If you're not already a member, please become a member, you guys. Our membership tiers have changed, so they have been lowered so everybody can come in and start to become a member for the 99, okay? So come in and join Trigger TV and do a little crime time with Trigger TV because we are on it, baby. So please do that for us and become a member, okay? Become a Trig family, mob, family, Trig Nation member, baby, because that's where you want to be, where you get all the trending stories, all the crime stories, and everything that's going on out there in those streets, okay? So please do that for me, and also help us reach our 5K, okay? We are going on to our 5K. We are looking forward to hitting it. We got to smash that 4K first, and we are off to 5K, all right? So please join us in doing that and supporting the channel. You guys can always do that with the thumbs up, like I said, blue hearts in the chat. We love those. Those are free. And just your support of watching the video. We also do Super Chat, Cash App, or even PayPal. That does support the stream as well, okay? So remember that and keep that in mind, okay? Today we're talking about Jamal White, but before we get into that, let's go ahead and get those disclaimers out the way and let's drop them so that we all know that Trigger TV is not for kids. So if you have those lovely beauties, please get them out the room, okay? Got to be 18 or older to watch Trigger TV, okay? Remember that the information that we provide, it could be traumatizing or harmful to adults or even kids, and that's why we don't like kids in the room, okay? Also, remember that the disclaimer, everything that we teach here on this channel is for teaching and coaching and training purposes, okay? This is YouTube, okay? So we want to be able to teach you something. We want to be able to know that you walked away with something when you leave this channel. Also, you guys know how we're coming. We are always going to come like this. It's going to be like this forever, ever, ever. Over here, we're bringing one heart, one mind, and one soul together one day at a time, providing love, support, and victims of violent crimes and family members grieving their loved ones due to their stories being untold, and to definitely bring back a sense of humanity to help all communities in any way possible to end the violence. You hear what I'm saying? I said to end the violence and to bring back a sense of humanity. Okay, we need you guys' help with that. Okay, bring back a sense of humanity on this red app. Bring back a sense of humanity in your real life too. Okay, so without further ado, I'm not going to hold you guys. I want to jump directly into this Jamal White case. Okay, he goes by Jamal Rashad. Okay, but let me share the screen with you. He was found, he is a member, so let me just tell you, he is a cult leader. He is now serving 18 years, I believe, in prison for abuse, okay, for child molestation. And there are 6 people that are currently missing from Missouri, but they did not all originate from Missouri. Okay, so they were missing out of Missouri after they were brought there from Mississippi. A few different women and their kids are missing. Okay, so I am so concerned, you guys. So without further ado, I definitely want to make sure that I get this information out to you because there are 2 3-year-olds that are involved and 2 and 4 women that are missing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this show started real quick. Let's stop the music. Let me stop that real quick so you guys can hear the clip. But I need you guys to really, really, really be praying for their family members. They're saying that these family members pretty much disappeared. They all quit their jobs and everything, you guys. They just stopped. They quit their jobs, left their jobs. They started stopped talking to their family members. A lot of things took place, you guys, for these family members just to come up missing, and they are completely gone, have vanished. This man is behind bars, like I said, serving time for child molestation, 18 years. And they're saying allegedly that he is running this cult from behind bars, okay? Behind bars, you guys. Let me just give you a little bit more information, too, before I start the clip real quick. These people have been missing for about 6 months, okay? So 6 months missing, Okay, there's 6 people missing with 2 3-year-olds. Okay, so 4 women, 2 3-year-olds missing. We have some of them that are missing, like I told you. We have Naaman Williams missing, 29 years old. Jarrell German, 26 years old, with a 3-year-old son. Michaela Thompson, 23 years old, missing. Another Michaela Wickerson at 25 years old, plus her 3-year-old daughter, Malia, is missing. Okay. So that is just very, very scary, you guys. Some of the family members are saying German's mother is saying that German, I'm sorry, Jarrell German vanished last summer from Mississippi. Okay, she said that she was suffering from postpartum, and she vanished as Jamal played on her vulnerabilities, running an online cult. This man has 90,000 followers on Instagram, and he also has a YouTube following. Okay, so that's what's happening. They're saying that this man, the name of the cult, pretty much is the University of Cosmic Intelligence. You hear me? The University of Cosmic Intelligence is the name of the cult. Okay, so he is teaching people, teaching different adults, different things about, the theories, web theories, different things about, why winter is false, which is kind of crazy. Winter is false. And it's not real. He's teaching sub-zero technology online, and he's preying on a bunch of people, with a bunch of mental health, weaknesses, and he is taking these people and really changing their lives. And these people are missing. Okay, it's not that they're hiding; they are missing. Their family members are saying that they've quit their jobs, they've turned in, their finances, their credit cards, for money. They're behind a lot of things that happen, and there are no traces, you guys, no traces that started out of Missouri. Okay, that's where he's out of Missouri. And a lot of these women have traveled to Missouri and come up missing out of Missouri. Okay, they started following him online, and they've cut ties with all their loved ones. They've quit their jobs, and they have gone completely rogue. Okay, they said that a lot of these women have been lured into Jamal's bizarre web of conspiracy theories, you guys. And so this is very, very scary. I know their families are scared. Their families are reaching out and asking for you guys' help, and finding them. I've got some pictures of them as well. If you guys look at the thumbnail, but I've also got some pictures of the last time that these last 3 ladies were seen in the store. Okay, and it is sad, you guys. I am just blown. German and Ashton, which is a son, they were last seen outside of a Quality Inn, outside of an airport in St. Louis back in August. Okay, all right. So she and 4 others were also renting an apartment in Berkeley and evicted back in August. Okay, the apartment was underneath Michaela Wickerson, and now she's changed her name to Yatuma Akwama Until. Okay, and that is now her name. So one of the followers have changed her name, and the family members are scared. They're scared. They don't know what happened. They just know that this man has got a huge online following, and they're saying that this is where, the cult behavior starts. This man has started it online with 90,000 followers on IG and a huge following on YouTube. I'm sure he's got followers elsewhere. I'm still doing some research as well, but I wanted to put this story out as soon as possible, even before the Soto developments, because we have a few developments there as well, you guys, which we are going to talk about that a little bit later today. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get you guys locked into this clip real quick, so that Law and Crime can tell you a little bit more about this, because we know about the Eligio Bishop and Malia and all that, and those wives and that cult. And you guys, this is seeming a little bit suspect, a little bit sus, a little bit along them lines, you guys, where we need to be praying for these families and praying for these kids to get back home, to the distant family members that miss them and love them so very much. So without further ado, let's get into the clip. Let's go. Make sure you guys smash that like button, and make sure that you guys are praying for the family members, please, you guys. And if you do have any information, make sure that you guys call the Missouri PD and give them some information. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the clip, and thank you for watching Trigger TV. We love you, and let's go.
If you scared to die for what you believe in, that's okay, but I'm not. So get out my way.
6 people missing for months after following this alleged cult leader and self-proclaimed prophet.
I think Rashad fits the usual profile, very narcissistic, very self obsessed, grandiose claims. He has 90,000 followers, by the way, on Instagram.
We're taking a closer look into the history of alleged cult leader Rashad Jamal White and his group, the University of Cosmic Intelligence.
Grand Rising Cosmic Family. First, let me start by saying peace to the gods and goddesses.
Give me 1 second. Let's blow it up and make it a little bit bigger for you guys real quick, because I want you guys to be able to see this on the big screen. So hold on 1 second here, and let's get this clip up again.
If you scared to die for what you believe in, that's okay, but I'm not. So get out my way.
6 people missing for months after following this alleged cult leader and self-proclaimed prophet.
I think Rashad fits the usual profile, very narcissistic, very self obsessed, grandiose claims. He has 90,000 followers, by the way, on Instagram.
We're taking a closer look into the history of alleged cult leader Rashad Jamal White and his group, the University of Cosmic Intelligence.
Grand Rising Cosmic Family. First, let me start by saying peace to the gods and goddesses of planet Kai. Peace meaning positive energy always creates elevation.
August 13th, 2023 was the last time anyone saw 25-year-old Michaela Thompson, 27-year-old Jarrell German, and 36-year-old Michaela Wickerson. This is the last known image of the trio in a St. Louis grocery store. Along with them, 30-year-old Naman Williams, 3-year-old Malaya Wickerson, and 2-year-old Ashton Mitchell all vanished. Their disappearance is now being investigated by a local police department. Friends and family of the missing say they cut off contact with them, some even quitting their jobs or maxing out credit cards. We spoke to cult expert and author of Cults Inside Out, Rick Ross. He says that process likely started slowly before any extreme measures were finally taken.
Well, people gradually unplug. It's a process of increments, step by step, bit by bit. People like Rashad encouraged them to do this. And that is one of the early warning signs that something is really wrong, is that you have a loved one who's becoming increasingly socially isolated. And they're obsessed with a particular leader, and you realize that their entire network of friends is now within this group. But it doesn't happen overnight. It happens slowly but surely. And in this sense, people don't really realize how far they've gone with these groups, because it is a step-by-step increment process.
What we now see as out of the ordinary, cult members may begin to find as reasonable.
I think normal becomes whatever it is within the kind of network or bubble that you exist in online. So what we're seeing is people embedding in kind of networks online where they're only communicating with other like-minded people and constantly being reinforced in whatever their new normal is.
Now, also, you guys, something that I want to share with you guys and remind you guys of is, also with our family members in our personal life, you guys, it is so important for us to check in, okay? Check in on our family members, especially the ones that, have some mental health problems, the ones that feel like they're alone, the ones that are isolated or in relationships that are isolating, to their family members, you guys, because this is truly how people do get wrapped up in these type of cult or cult mentality movements, and they come up missing, okay? It's very, very easy to do. They get online and they get indulged in something online, a movement online, something online that moves them. They feel like they become a part of something, you guys. And then, they start breaking ties with the family, as you guys saw with the Eligio Bishop, and that whole carbonation movement. You guys saw that. We saw that play out on the internet. We see Eligio now behind bars, but we've seen it all play out, right? So a lot of us are familiar with that type of behavior and what a cult looks like online on YouTube. So we need to definitely be making sure, you guys, that we are dotting our I's and crossing our T's with our loved ones, even our best friends, the people that we call family, that we're checking in with them, because it's so easy to get caught up with something like this. So we really, really, really need to stay tapped in. And that's something that I want to encourage each and every last one of you guys to maintain, and each and every last one of you guys to do, because this is very dangerous. This can happen. My first question is, how is he running this cult from behind bars? But remember, Jeff Warren, he's still doing it. He's locked up behind bars, and he is still running that cult from behind bars. And that is insane. He has an insane amount of followers. And these are people that are committed to running this cult for him, being in his spaces, being in his shoes. And that is very, very damaging, to society, to humanity. And we have to be careful.
As dictated by the leader. So we think it's crazy, but then we're dealing with the world at large. These people are often cut off, as we hear, from their family, from their old friends, and they're embedded in this alternate reality, this other world online, in which they are following people that are like-minded, conversing with people online, and following, streaming and YouTube videos. It can become, completely encapsulating, where people really have no other access to the real world.
Ross says things start out innocently enough, oftentimes when people are down on their luck.
Well, I think the narrative is usually people are going through a difficult time in their life, and that happens to all of us. We go through bad patches, and they have the bad luck to be approached by someone who introduces them to some group or weekend seminar program or something that seems rather innocent, but in fact is a cult. And the person who's talking to you about this group or activity could be a coworker, a friend, someone you know, someone you trust.
As Ross explains, there are several things that determine whether a group is actually a cult.
Well, we look for three things to form the core, the nucleus of what a destructive cult would be. Number one, is the leader the defining element and driving force of the group? And is the leader a dictator with no meaningful accountability? And has he or she become an object of worship? Second, does the leader manipulate people in identifiable ways that line up with coercive persuasion? In other words, is he gaslighting people? Is he manipulating them, isolating them from family and friends to control what they hear, what they see, to gain undue influence? And finally, three, having gained undue influence, does the leader use it to take advantage of his or her followers, exploit them, and do harm to them?
In this case, Ross believes the University of Cosmic Intelligence is in fact a cult, and that Rashad Jamal is its leader. The leader of this alleged cult or group, his name is Rashad White. He goes by Rashad Jamal. And according to his Instagram, he's a self-proclaimed prophet. He calls himself a revolutionary, and he calls himself also a luminous being. Is it possible that he believes in all of this?
In my experience, most of the cult leaders that I deal with are grifters, con men. They don't really believe their own hype. If they
Now, you guys heard that? He said drifters, con men. When you think about drifter and con man, it automatically makes me think about Eligio Bishop. And I can't say it enough, because what happened to him? He had people coming to him, bringing all their money, whatever their monthly pay was, right? You have to pay to get into carbonation. You know what I mean? And if you didn't have to pay your way, you had to lay your way, right? Because it became a sex cult, right? They were having sexual, intercourse with one another. He was checking out the women online. There was a lot that they had to offer, in order for them, in order to be, a part of this cult. If you weren't bringing that shmoney, you had to be bringing that, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to be careful. I mean, these cult members were cleaning them out. And what they like to do is take these members and move them off of U.S. soil, take them to the Bahamas, take them to Puerto Rico, take them to, somewhere else, Cancun, take them somewhere else, where they're free to run these cults. They're free to run these members however they want without people looking at them, without just having an eye on them. You know what I mean? Because a movement like this in Atlanta, right? You saw what happened when Allege went to Atlanta. It was big. They were getting their busted in, right? Police were coming. The neighbors were like, why are these people out here doing all this weird stuff out here? Right? As you guys see the thumbnail, you guys, they were saying that this cult specifically, there were times that these cult members were outside in the rain naked, running around, and doing really weird stuff. That's what was reported with these members right here. So, you can't do that. So you take them somewhere else, it's not weird. You do it right here in the U.S., it's weird. We got to stop that. You know what I mean? It needs to be weird all over the place so that we can stop this cult-like behavior. These self-proclaimed drifters, these are not prophets. These are self-proclaimed drifters and people that had no leaders and parents and people in their life that love them. So they start taking people that are loved, in places that will send them money. Once they run out of money, guess what? Then these members start reaching out to their families, telling them what they need in order to survive after their bank accounts are cleared completely out. And when they have kids, you guys, I believe the kids make it even more dangerous. It becomes way more. I mean, when the police, when they make a phone call and they're like, okay, they call the police out and the police are there. And then the police call somebody else, a backup, and they say, step it up. When the kids are involved and the kids are missing, that's when we need to step it up. And it shouldn't be like that. We need to step it up the minute they see that it's a cult. We got to step it up. These are people's souls. These are people's hearts. This is humanity that's missing. And this is what we have to work on, making people feel like they belong, without them having to join, these profitless men and these profitless women, that are self-proclaimed drifters, from taking them and putting them in a space that's unsafe for them and their children.
You do cross that line, it becomes dangerous because then they are delusional and may, harm the people that are following them by acting basically insane, unplugging from reality, taking all of their followers over the edge with them. I think Jamal Rashad fits the usual profile.
Absolutely.
Very narcissistic, very self-obsessed, grandiose claims.
You guys see that Instagram page? I am Rashad Jamal. I want you guys to look it up. 90.2K followers. Look at how many he's following. 324 he's following. That is a red flag for me. Anytime I look up an Instagram page and I see something like that, where you got all those followers and you're only following 300 something people, I automatically keep it moving. Okay, that's an automatic red flag for me. Automatically, that's somebody I don't want to follow, and that's somebody that I don't let follow me. I automatically will block them. Automatically. I don't give a fuck about a blue check. You can buy a blue check, $19.99, $9.99. They're free now. You how to get them. I don't play none of those games. That's something that I look for in my crime. When I'm doing my crime videos and when I'm doing my research, I look at stuff like this. And this right here is what attracts the people. Everybody is looking for that blue check, how to get linked up, how to get linked in. This is not the way to get linked in. This is scary.
He has 90,000 followers, by the way, on Instagram. And of course, he has a YouTube following and so forth. This is the wave of the future. Groups called cults are recruiting online, and anybody could be targeted.
You guys saw that? So that is his, that's his thing. Cosmic, right? That's his thing.
To the gods and goddesses of planet Kai. This has been brought to you by the Ancestors First, then the University of Cosmic Intelligence, Real Upper Rich. Now we rise.
Now listen, now we rise. Look at the money in his hand. So listen, these drifters are always trying to show us money. Legio Bishop always trying to show us what they have. You know what I mean? But it's not what they have. It's what they've taken from the people to high side and front online, to show us what they have. They're showing us nice cars, stacks of money in their hand, like rappers, you know what I mean? Damn telephones of money, knowing good and well that they've taken these money from honest people that have worked hard in their life. Some of these people are educated people that have been through college, have degrees, master's degrees, bachelor's degrees, associate's degrees, and they have taken them and ripped them from their homes with their kids, promising them a better life. And it's not a better life. It's a life of abuse, physical, mental, emotional, all of it.
As I come. One, I say.
Rashad Jamal boasts thousands of followers on Instagram and TikTok, where he speaks the word of his group. That includes promoting polygamy, living off the grid, and anti-government beliefs. That sound
Anti-government beliefs. That is the number one thing that they are out there teaching. Okay. Back in the day, when I was growing up, they called it living in the world. You know, now it's anti-government beliefs, but they called it worldly living, living in the world. You don't want to live in the world. You know, living in the world is a sin, right? Okay. But, you know, the government living versus, but listen, they're asking for government funds to support their drifting, to support their cultish ways, and to support the abuse of these men and women that we continue to violate, right? And to hide. We can't do that, you guys. We have to be very, very careful. We've got to be more careful.
sound a lot like conspiracy theories.
Winter not real. The true name, it's a weapon. The true name of winter is called Sub-Zero technology. They put ice, they made fake clouds, and then they put ice.
Listen to this. I want you guys to listen to how crazy this sounds. And I don't know about you guys, but when I heard this, I'm like, this is absolutely nuts.
Crystals in the clouds. And then they use these fake 5G towers to turn these, to activate these fake ice crystals in these clouds. So this is how they be looking, right? We've seen this before, y'all, and never thought nothing of it.
Listen.
All them birds on the power line, you don't be thinking of it, like, oh, but they sitting there actually charging up. All right. These are your government drones. They fly all over and they record surveillance.
Does that make things more tricky because the internet can go anywhere? I mean, you don't have to be in a
birds are government drones. What the
physical proximity of a cult leader or organization. You can just Google it and kind of get sucked in that way. Does that mean that we're all more at risk?
Sierra, I think it's even more ominous than that. I think that minor children can be recruited online with their parents not even knowing that they're interacting with a cult or a cult leader.
Now, these three women, you guys see these three women. This is the last time these three women were seen, okay? And they vanished. Look at these women. Look at how young these women are. 1, 2, 3, okay? This is what saddens my heart. These women had kids, okay, in their 20s. I told you the ages at the beginning, okay? Young women, 25, 29, 23, 26. These women were young, okay? Young. 2 of them have 3-year-old children. One has a 3-year-old son. One has a 3-year-old daughter, and they are missing. Look at how fearful the one in the front looks. She does not look like she's happy at all. They don't look like they're happy. They don't look like they're free.
Because anyone with a smartphone, anyone with access to the internet is possibly a target for cult recruitment. And we've seen this over and over and over again. I mean, there was a group that recently has been exposed. I dealt with them over the years, called Love Has Won, led by Amy Carlson. There's
Michaela Wickerson. There's Michaela Wickerson right there, you guys, with her 3-year-old daughter, okay? Right there. I want you to take a good look at this picture right here, okay? She's missing, you guys. If you've seen her anywhere, I want you to call the Missouri Police Department, okay? Please, please. Her family's looking for her. You know, Malia Wickerson is the 3-year-old daughter on the right-hand side. They're looking for her.
A documentary about her, calling herself Mother God. She would recruit online, raise money online, and constantly do events streaming online. Another group with the leader, who also, by the way, is in jail, like Rashad Jamal in Georgia, is a group that called itself the Ethereans and later Carbon Nation, led by Elizio Bishop, who's now, for abuse, like Rashad
And we
Jamal.
remember them, right? We remember Velvet there, okay? Remember Velvet, okay? Malia and the three wives, we need to be checking in on them and find out what's going on with those three ladies, okay? Kayla allegedly did some time, behind bars, and her parents didn't even know she was locked up. One of the YouTubers had to call her mom and tell her that she was behind bars. Her mom and her family didn't even know, you guys. This is how not in the know that these family members are when they come up missing. This is how in the know that they are not.
In jail. He recruited online and would sequester his followers at an Airbnb in Central America. So this could happen to anyone, and recruitment online is now the norm.
Right now, Rashad Jamal is serving an 18-year prison sentence in Georgia for multiple child molestation and child cruelty convictions. He was sentenced back in August and has since filed a motion for a new trial. Now, he's been convicted of multiple crimes. Does that make things more difficult? I mean, the cult leader is behind bars. How is he going to communicate?
Well, that's interesting because, Warren Jeffs, who is now in prison in Texas for horrible abuse of children, raping minor children, he still runs the cult, the polygamous cult called the FLDS, from prison. So it is possible for leaders to continue to communicate with their followers, even though they are incarcerated. Sounds crazy, but that's what is going on.
And it is crazy. And let me tell you guys something. When these cult leaders get locked up behind bars, I'm going to tell you something. I believe that part of them being locked up behind bars, they should not be allowed to have any contact at all with any of the members that are outside of those walls that they are locked up behind, because they are locked up behind those walls for a reason. This man happens to be locked up for child molestation, okay, and child abuse, okay? So why do we have this man still running this cult from behind, those walls? And then also Jeff Warren, him too as well. He was a big ass cult leader, big, excuse my language, big, you guys. And he's just running that cult and people are still following him. You know what I mean? That is so dangerous. And we still have it. Look at this. This man looks like a rapper. Again, all this money showing us all the possessions that he can have or that you can have if you just follow him. But what you don't realize is that all that money in his hand are the money that's been taken from those honest humanitarians that joined him, you know what I mean, to set him free, not them free, to set him free, to buy him land, to buy him a car, to make him okay, to make him feel like he's a prophet when he's nothing but an abusive, emotionless drifter, teaching false prophecies like the rest.
It's not the first time Rashad Jamal or his followers have been involved in criminal activity. Damian Winslow Washam was eventually found not guilty by reason of insanity for murdering his mother with a sword. Crystal Pickens was sentenced to life in prison, and Yasmin Hyder sentenced to 35 years after robbing and murdering a Florida college student back in 2022. So does that relate at all to the case here of these missing people, that some of the followers could be dangerous?
Well, I think that this particular group led by Rashad is dangerous. I mean, he's in prison for violent crimes against children. And so what we see is that there is a feeling that the ends justify the means, which is a typical philosophy in cults. In other words, if I, the leader, say that it is just for you to execute someone that I feel is an enemy of our higher power, of our existence, then you should do it.
And you know what, you guys, back in the day, they called that excommunicating the members, right? Right? When you got excommunicated, when you went to the church, you had sex before marriage, they called it excommunicating you. Now they're taking your life. It's dangerous. Absolutely. Listen, they also said that for Jamal White, I'm going to call him by his name, Jamal White. They said that he was looking for 10,000. He was short of 10,000 signatures to try and get out of jail. They're signing petitions in order to get this drifter out of jail. Okay. in order to get him out and get him released. To do what? There are 6 people that are missing, and they've been missing for 6 months now. It's not something that just happened. They didn't just come missing a few days ago. It just hit the press. These people have been missing since August of last year. Like 6 months ago, you guys, we have to wake up. We have to wake up. You guys talk about having that third eye. A lot of people talk about stay woke. We got so many pages on YouTube with people saying that. But are you really woke? I mean, are you? Are you doing cases like this? Are we waking up society and reminding them what's out there for our family members and our kids and how dangerous it is? We're not. We need to be using our pages for the good to expose this kind of stuff so that we don't have people like this coming up missing right here in our faces. Okay, this is dangerous. We don't know where these 6 people are. We don't know if they are dead or alive. We just know that, like he said, he is behind bars for abusing children. And he's got some serious charges, toward hurting these children. If he will hurt children, of course he's going to hurt adults. Think about it. Put 1 and 1 together. It does equal 2.
It's not really a crime morally or ethically because the ends justify the means. And so many times with cult groups, we see them, going off the rails into criminal activity led by a leader who feels that there should be no limit to their power.
Beyond committing dangerous crimes, police in Missouri also report the missing cult members acting in strange ways, such as running outside naked during a rainstorm or digging things up in their yard.
You guys seen that outside? Now, there's my thumbnail. That was them outside, you guys, digging things up in the yard, running around in the rain naked. Absolutely, their minds are not right. This man has gotten to the core of their mind, and they don't even have a family member to call and say, does this sound crazy to you? Can I talk to you about this? Cult members normally, when you go and join a cult, you don't even have access to your own phone anymore. They take your phones, they take your credit cards, your ID, your passports, and everything to make sure that you don't get up and leave in the middle of the night, or that you don't have contact with anybody that is going to steer you off their ridden satanic path.
People that are in groups called cults, at the dictates or suggestion of their leader, may do really bizarre things. I mean, let's look at the followers of Amy Carlson, Mother God. She would make demands of them. They would do odd things. In the end, when she died, they would not accept her death, and they wrapped her body in Christmas lights and worshiped it.
That's how stuck she had them, wrapping her body in Christmas lights and worshiping her deceased body because they did not want to accept the fact that she had passed on. That's how much she was in their heads. That is a mental health problem, you guys, that we have to fix immediately.
So there are groups and there are followers that we see that seem to be detached from reality. The leader creates a new reality, and that becomes their new normal.
But making choices dictated by one sole leader leads down a slippery slope. What is the danger of somebody idolizing another human, putting them above everyone else?
I think the danger of worshiping a cult leader is that the leader has no real accountability, and that the leader is saying, I represent a higher power. So if you question me, you are questioning God. You are questioning that higher power. And so you feel that you cannot question the leader. And therefore, the leader can rationalize or justify anything. And this leads to abuse. That kind of power with no checks, no balances, unfettered, is what we see over and over again playing out in scenarios where children are hurt, where people are denied proper medical care, or they become involved in criminal schemes. And of course, what we see is their finances become depleted. The leader takes whatever he or she can get from them by maxing out their credit cards, getting them to liquidate assets, etc. The key is accountability and transparency, and cult leaders don't have either.
Absolutely. And they don't have integrity either. Okay, integrity goes along with that. Accountability and integrity goes hand in hand, and these cult leaders don't have that. The problem is that these cult leaders think that they're anointed by God, and they're not. If you're anointed by God, you're not taking from anybody, you're giving. Where is the giving in this?
In this case, 6 missing people who have not been seen or heard from in months comes concern for the 2- and 3-year-old children involved. Majority of the people who vanished are adults, and they follow a group that urges them to go off the grid. So if they don't want to be found, is that their right not to be found?
The key issue right now with these adults that have gone off the grid, disappeared because of Rashad, is that they also have minor children. And this is the tragedy of groups like this, that children have no choice, that they are dependent upon their parents to look out for them, to protect them. And so when parents become enthralled with a cult leader and under undue influence, the children often suffer. And we've seen this play out in group after group after group. One of the worst being the children of God, where the leader mandated that children as young as 4 be sexually abused. So children can become caught in the situation of a cult because of their parents. And I think that is something probably that the families fear, that are now wondering where their grandchildren, their nieces, nephews are.
But Ross says there are ways to remedy the situation.
Well, hopefully Child Protective Services will become involved, because Rashad is in prison for abusing children. And so there is a history of child abuse with this particular group. So that would be one immediate thing, to interview the children and find out how they've been treated, how they're doing, etc. As far as the parents are concerned, this is very difficult. People have a right to believe whatever they wish, but that doesn't mean they can do whatever they want in the name of those beliefs. So I think unless the parents have committed crimes, they may just go along their way. Perhaps the parents will help them to reconsider their commitment to Rashad Jamal.
For family members of those involved in a cult, Ross has a specific suggestion.
Well, the first thing I would advise is don't be confrontational and don't argue and be negative. Don't look at your family members, say, oh, you're in a cult, because they may go back to other members and the leader and share that you have said that, and then you may be cut off completely. So I would instead be a good listener, listen to what they have to say. When you have the time, copy down some notes, go online and use the internet for a constructive purpose, which would be doing research about the particular group or leader so that you can get a better handle on it. And you might consider eventually doing an intervention, but that would be something that you should carefully consider after doing quite a bit of research and discussion with the larger family.
He also urges family and friends to avoid blaming anyone.
I think it's really important not to blame and shame cult survivors or cult victims. No one joins a cult intentionally. They're basically tricked and then trapped emotionally and psychologically by the group and the leader. So I think for us to blame or shame people that become involved is a mistake, and it serves no useful purpose.
The Berkeley Police Department in Missouri says the investigation into the 6 missing people has been underway for nearly 6 months. Anyone with more information about their whereabouts is asked to contact the police. Reporting for Long Crime, I'm
Yes, you guys. So that is it. Yes, it is so important. Okay. I can't express it enough. I'm going to tell you, I can't express it enough. We have got to get a hold of this. We've got to get this under control. Yes. Number one, you don't want to shame them. You want to be supportive to your family members that are part of this, you guys. It's something that We have to be supportive. Like I said, he said it true. He said, don't be confrontational, be a support to your family members that are in there. It's very, very dangerous to go in there and to be, judgmental towards your family members. Just be a support and try and help them to get out. Because again, if they do come to the cult leader and say, hey, my family's saying that you're a cult, that could endanger their lives, their children's lives, and a whole bunch of other people's lives because now they've been found out. This is something, guys, that we got to really keep our hearts, our eyes, and our minds on and not forget about it. We have a lot of, murders across the U.S. that are happening every day. But this is something that can go directly into that because these people are missing and we don't know where these children and these families are. So I do want to definitely lift up prayers to every single family member that's missing. And we are going to follow this case too as well, you guys, and just kind of look into it and keep on watching for Jamal White and find out what happens in him trying to, get out of jail and all that stuff. And also with these women and these kids that are missing, we are going to keep an eye on that, and see if there's any way that we can get involved and help and start posting their pictures because they are missing, you guys. And it's so important to get these family members back to their safe home if that's where they want to be. Okay, so you guys, I definitely want to let you know that this is a story that I'm bringing to you, and I want you guys to really please share this story. Please share the live, you guys. Make sure that if you have not hit the like button already, please do that. Get it in the algorithm. Let's get the story out there, you guys, so people are aware of Jamal White and this whole cosmic university thing. This man is repping ice cubes and repping that winter is not real. We've got to stop with the false prophets, and we've really got to ante up and stop this madness. You know what I mean? It's hurting a lot of people, and there's a lot of changes that have to be made in order for us to move forward in society and protect our kids and protect our vulnerable adults, that don't feel loved, because I think a lot of our adults go into these cults because they don't feel loved. One thing I do want to express to you guys is that to everybody, and even myself included, and anybody that's around me in my group, Hearts for Humanity, and also Trigger TV, I want you guys to be smarter than those smartphones. Don't get on those smartphones thinking that you're joining a group that's amazing, and then they tell you that let's all link up out here, and then no, you guys, do your homework before you become a part of a group online. Do not become a part of a group. Do not opt up. Do not ante up with a certain type of group. All this grouping up. Don't do it, you guys. It's very dangerous, especially with these cults. We don't know what they have in store for you. You know what I mean? So prayers out to all of those family members, you guys. I am so serious. I'm going to just real quick, I just want to put it up one more time. It's the picture of these ladies. You guys see it, a picture of these ladies, just so you can see. And there's another one. There you go. Another picture too, right there for you. And you guys just got to really pray for them. And let's pray that they really get home safe. Okay. It's very important that we get them home safe, to a safe space. It's important, you guys. I can't express it enough. It is important. And we really, really, really do have to stop, this cultish behavior. We got to stop it. We got to stop it. Some way, somehow, you guys, these people are missing, and they didn't just come up missing on their own. Look at these beautiful babies. Look at these beautiful women that are up here, and they are nowhere to be found. So we got to make a change, and it starts with us, and we have to care enough. Okay. So let's start caring enough, and let's start doing more stories like this too. When they pop up, you guys, these stories got to come before updates and all this stuff, because this is a 911. We need help right now. Okay. 911, step it up right now. Kids are missing. Okay. So thank you so much, you guys, for joining us with Trigger TV. Thank you for coming back for another episode. You guys, we will be uploading. So please turn on your notifications. Okay. Make sure you turn them on, you guys, so that you don't miss any time that I drop a video, upload a video, anytime I go live, all that stuff. Make sure that you guys are in the building. Okay. Make sure you guys are smashing that like button. Make sure that you guys are supporting the stream too. Please support Trigger TV. You can right there. PayPal, do Hearts for Humanity. You can also do super chats, thumbs up. Make sure you share the video. That's supporting Trigger TV as well. You guys, we love you so much. Remember, if I haven't said it, if you haven't heard that you've been loved, just know that you are loved over here. Okay. So we love you so much. We appreciate you joining the show, and we will definitely be dropping another one. Please look forward to those developments on that Soto case. We are still working out some of those kinks. We want a little bit more information in reference to what's going on with Matthew Guerrero's mother and that cult. So we are going to be talking a little bit about that, but we need to just get a little bit more detail so that we can drop that for you. But please be looking forward to some more uploads and some more drops. So please turn on your notifications, you guys, so that you never ever miss, you guys, when we're dropping a video. But we love you guys, and we're going to get out of here, and we will definitely see you on the next one. It's been fantastic being with you guys this morning, and I love you, and I'm out of here. Peace.